stop treating our spleen like shit because Western society doesn't give a fuck or know anything about organ energetics. Western society has an unhealthy obsession with cold and raw foods, and it shows. This goes beyond just winter immunity and into everyday health. So what does cold do to our bodies? What does cold do to chi? Cold stops the free flow of chi and causes blockages or stagnation, and it slows down organ function. Ice water, the emphasis on raw salads, smoothies, teaching young people who are assigned female at birth that ice water burns calories. Diet culture, that's for another video. You hear me talk a lot about the spleen, and that's because the spleen is one of your main chi-making organs in Chinese medicine. Your spleen likes a warm, dry environment. So when you feed it things like ice water and raw salads, the energy gets stagnated. Your spleen is also responsible for the transformation and transportation of fluids and food, meaning the spleen has an incredibly important role in not only digestion, but water metabolism. When you drink ice water, it just sits there. It doesn't go anywhere because your spleen has to do twice the amount of work to warm up the water so that your body can absorb it. Your spleen also has important relationships with every other organ in the body, like the lung. Your lung dominates qi, specifically wei qi. Now what is wei qi? Wei qi floats on the outside of your body, on the outside of your skin, and it protects you from external pathogens. You can think of it as your immune system. When your spleen is taxated, it can't nourish the lung. And when the lung is taxated, it can't protect your body from getting sick. This is even more important in the winter because it's colder than it normally is. You don't get as much sunlight, so you're not getting as much yang energy to transform and transport your food and give you energy in general. So what can we do? The answer is simple. Drink warm water. Cook your vegetables. Make sure you're getting hot meals as often as possible. Have you ever noticed when you have a big ass salad that you have like loose stool and like diarrhea? That's because your spleen was like, this is a lot. When the spleen is happy, it can nourish the lung. And when the lung is happy, your wei qi protects your body and does what it's intended to do. Whew. Okay, we got there. I know that was a lot. This is Chinese medicine. Chinese medicine is systems of thought. Therefore, it is completely holistic. It treats the body as a system, as it should be treated because the body is holistic. And if you do simple things like warming up your food, making sure you're drinking warm water or at least room temperature water, you will notice differences. I know that was a lot. Let me know if you have questions.
So I had no idea that I even had spleen issues, but I had an iridology reading done by Dr. Robert Morris himself. I have the recording on my Dropbox. Treasure it till I die. But he actually pointed out that I had spleen issues. And ever since that reading, which was done like 5 years ago, maybe even more, every other naturopath, homeopathic, or even acupuncturist has said the same thing to me, that I have spleen issues. And it is an ongoing thing because since I got pregnant, I haven't really been able to properly detox. But I started doing a lot of juice fasts and fruit fasts, mono fruit meals for months at a time. I was taking herbal support, tinctures and capsules like botanicals, specifically designed for your spleen and your skin. And I was taking glandulars that I got through Dr. Robert Morris as well. Don't underestimate the power of acupuncture because he hit me up a couple times with those areas targeted. Now, as part of like my home regimen, I use frequencies for my spleen and my kidneys and like all my major organs. At the moment, because I am pregnant, I can't exactly use direct microcurrent, but I do emanate the open circuit frequencies so that I'm still receiving that. When you think about healing your organs at the very basis of everything, like you break down from your tissues, and organs break down into cells, break down into atoms, subatomic particles, and at the very core of everything is energy. So if you can start working on an energetic level, everything else you do in the real world is just going to compound that much faster. But I have to say, hands down, diet is going to be the biggest contributing factor to healing your organs and glands. I'm going to tag a couple people here. Go check out their page and maybe consult with them for suggestions, or maybe even schedule an interview or consultation and see how you can get started.
Inflamed spleen. A lot of people have it and don't even know it. They'll have sensations that are strange over on the left side of their ribs right here. When they're sleeping at night, they're uncomfortable. They can't sleep on their left side. They don't know why. They'll have discomfort underneath the front of the rib here, feeling like they're kind of bloated in the front too with their stomach, or their stomach might even be kind of tender. But they have this low-grade spleen issue, inflamed spleen, not technically a real enlarged spleen where it could be seen on an MRI where, hey, that's an enlarged spleen. So let's talk about this. We're going to take the spleen out right here. We're going to do a little spleenectomy really quick, which took the pancreas with it, by the way. People have the inflamed spleens from the Epstein-Barr virus. The virus gets into the spleen and over time starts to break down the immune system, and then the spleen can't even protect itself, and so the virus ends up causing an enlargement over time.
Hundreds of comments of people asking, what if my left side hurts when I drink alcohol? Your right side is your liver, right? So if your right side is starting to hurt, your liver is working way too hard. Plus, I doubt you've been drinking enough water. Now your spleen can also be put to work too. The spleen kind of takes over when the liver is working too hard. So if you actively consume alcohol and you have a high tolerance, not only is your liver really struggling, it's pushing the additional work over to your spleen. As a matter of fact, my spleen is about 12 centimeters enlarged permanently. This is because the amount of blood and the amount of work that my spleen was putting in when my liver was giving out, while it was the size of a football, was so astronomical, it's permanently enlarged. It doesn't cause me any pain now, but it used to cause me a lot. You need support.
Oh yeah, let's do this. If your tongue is pale, swollen, cracked, tooth marked on the side, you're going to want to pay attention. We've seen some spleen points in previous videos as the spleen runs from the big toe up the front of the leg and ends on the side of the body. When the spleen's out of balance, we'll see things like fatigue, brain fog, bloating, loose stools, irregular digestion, leaky gut, IBS, muscle weakness, and soreness. As you can tell, it has a ton to do with the body and our health. The spleen's responsible for basically processing everything that we ingest physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. It's going to be damaged by things like chronic stress, worry, eating irregularly, and synthetic chemical exposure from your food, perfumes, candles, and environment. To heal the spleen, you're going to want to avoid cold and raw foods. Add in more warm things. Bone broth soup is amazing. Butternut squash, cinnamon, ginger are great. And then, of course, my favorite lifestyle things, acupressure, acupuncture, qigong, deep breathing, essential oils. Digestive enzymes and probiotics are also helpful here. For even more recommendations, check out my free tongue guide. And if you really want to take your health to the next level, to deepen your intuition, to understand the things your body is telling you, and to master the flow of your energy, check out my online course, Exploring the Energy Body. Let me know in the comments what change you're going to make today to help strengthen your spleen, and be sure to like and follow for more.
Good morning, guys. So I did get the on-call doctor to call me back, which happened to be my doctor actually, who was on call, thankfully, because she knows my treatment. She said that it is an inflamed spleen, just like I thought, which I only know because I watched every season of Grey's Anatomy, and that's where I got my medical degree. I'm just kidding, but I did a lot of research and I figured that's what it was, due to a side effect of one of my medications, which she is going to take me off the pump today since I won't be getting radiation Thursday or Friday due to the holiday. That way it gives my spleen some time to recover. And she asked me to take Advil or Motrin to help with inflammation, and hopefully the pain will go away. She is going to check me out at 1 o'clock when I go for radiation. It's 2 separate doctor, radiation and my oncology doctor, for my chemo, but they're in the same building. So she said, when you're done at radiation, come and see me so that I can take a look at you and see your oxygen level, make sure that everything is okay, and I will have the pump removed for Thursday and Friday, since you're not going to get radiation and the plan is concurrent radiation and chemo. Therefore, we would be following protocol, which I am very, very glad for, because I was asking myself, if I'm not having them together, what is the point? And now, due to my spleen being enlarged, I get to have it taken off, which is pretty cool, just because this thing is very annoying. My best friend is coming into town today, and I will be able to just enjoy her company without having this get in the way. So thank you so much for your prayers. They really, really mean a lot. Don't y'all love this filter? The freckles are great. Ooh. Thank you for your prayers. Bye-bye.